You can relate to this if you've ever been on a basketball team, football team, volleyball team, baseball, whatever competitive sport team you've ever been on. One of the things about competitive sports is we have something called review film. And these are days when we will study our weaknesses, our strengths, and not only that, we would also review film of our opponents, especially if they had a special player. We wanted to be able to know what was that special player's weakness or strength. You're gonna walk around here talking about that was the last time and last year was the last year and I'm never going back. You have an enemy that's reviewing film. Because all of us are special because we're anointed. We've been anointed by the anointed one. And so what he wants to do, let me review film where I can see their weaknesses. And this is the area that I don't believe is taught on enough. How does the enemy get us to go back to the things that God brought us out of? He gets us to go back by giving us withdrawals. Withdrawals. Why are we teaching that part more? I heard, and I'm not minimizing, who the Son has set free is free indeed. Amen. That's Bible. We shout, okay, I've learned how to leave things behind. That's great. I'm right there with you. The Apostle Paul. We talk about forget the former things and don't dwell on the past. Yush-up. Some of us learned a new word. You talk to people, I'm not yush-up in 2024. I'm different. But what about when you miss it, though? See how quiet it's getting? That part, that's why I want to park for the remainder of our time before we baptize these people. How do you handle when, yes, you're given a new year, yes, you're forgiven, yes, you're a kingdom citizen, but you miss what it was like when you were a commoner? And don't question, am I saved? I'm just being honest. Sometimes I miss it. And not speaking about this enough has Christians thinking they're not saved when they're going through withdrawals. You better pray more. You need to fast more. What's wrong with you? Have you really accepted Christ? Do you really believe? Old school church, they put your hand on your belly and come out, do all of that. Okay, nothing's wrong with my stomach, but I just miss what it felt like. I miss what it did for my mind. What do you do when you miss it? And if we don't talk about this enough, we will be people who have injured souls but fake smiles. And will never know what true freedom feels like. Because we've mastered acting as though I'm over it, but you're really not. What do you do when your decision to be sold out, you're second guessing? Because now I'm 37, no candidate for marriage. Nobody's following my ministry. What do you do with the withdrawal? See, the reason it's getting so real right now is because me personally, this is just personally, I hated hearing messages that gave me hype with no biblical handles. Because all you did was shout and dance, but went right back with the same chains on. I want to know, how do I break this? The first thing is I have to desire a pure heart. A pure heart. Look, Bible all day. Psalms 51, verse 10. The psalmist says, create in me. To create means you don't have it. I don't have it yet. Create in me a pure heart, oh God, and renew a steadfast spirit. What does steadfast mean? Steadfast is unwavering loyalty. Renew a unwavering loyalty spirit within me. See, you really don't know if somebody's loyal until they have options. I know my man loyal. Okay, has he seen somebody finer than you yet? Has he seen somebody smarter? I know she loyal. Has she seen somebody who looks better? It's not until they have options and still choose you that you really know if somebody's loyal or not. Why do you think God put Adam and Eve in the garden and they had options? Because if they did not have options, it would not be love. I give you free will so that you can show me with your free will how much you love me. If I force you to be with me, that's not love, that's control. So I'm giving you options. Do you want me? Do you want life or death? Do you want blessings or cursings? I'm going to help you out. Choose life. Then Jesus says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 8, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. So this means the way you see is tied to the quality of your heart. Everybody's fake. Something's up with your heart. Everybody's trying to hurt me. Something's up with your heart, not them. Oh, this freed me as a pastor. When I learned that people see from their heart, not their eyes, it's what's going on in the heart. The heart, and this is why I've said this many times, but I've learned how to add to it. This is why I've learned what withdrawals truly is. Withdrawals are the heart's way of raging once a pattern has changed. This is normal. This is what it feels like when toxicity is leaving the body and your heart is getting pured. I'm trying to help somebody. Thank you for the 2 golf claps. But I promise you, if I could have logged on when I'm 22 years old, a senior in college, and saw a sweaty preacher tell me what you're experiencing is called withdrawals. And that doesn't mean you're not saved. It's actually normal. It's the heart's way of raging because your pattern has changed. This is what it feels like when toxicity is leaving your body and God is purifying your heart. Man, that would have helped me. That would have helped me. I've been to so many altar calls because I felt like, because I missed it, because I still wanted to do it, because my taste buds haven't changed. What's wrong with me? Until I recognize that God is trying to regenerate your heart. And so there's a chart I want us to see. Now watch this. For everybody who's fasting, please hear me. Wherever your flesh rages the most when you fast, is showing you where stronghold is. It's getting quiet in here. Flesh raging because you're not scrolling to distract yourself from, I don't really like my life, but now I can't scroll. And now you have to sit in the fact that scrolling has been distracting you from those silent moments. And it's really uncomfortable. That fast is going to show you this is where a stronghold is. This is where the enemy has been holding strong your perspective. And you have been distracting yourself into spiritual death. And you can't even see that every quiet moment is God trying to have a speaking moment. But you fill it with IG. That's Instagram. You fill it with Facebook. How about fill it with me so I can fill you with me? So I want us to see this chart because it's so easy for you to pray, God, if this is your will, stop it. Block it. Reroute it. And then God does the craziest thing. He stops it. He blocks it. He reroutes it. And then you cry, God, why? You pray, God, show me their true colors. And God shows you every color of the rainbow. See, but you know what it is? Many of us love with a paintbrush. What do you mean, Pastor? God shows you their true colors, you repaint it. I could change that. I could change this. Well, all I need to do is God shows you a red flag, you were painted green. Y'all laughing, but there are many people in here who have paintbrushes. And you love with a paintbrush. Ooh, can I mess y'all up? You know why storms hit so hard? Because it causes for whatever you painted to show its true colors. Everything that you tried to cover up a different color, the storm washes it away. Maybe this is why you keep experiencing storm after storm after storm. It's not because something you're doing, it's God is showing you, no, that's red, that's red, that's red. No, stop making it blue, that's red, that's red, that's red. Stop coloring it green, that's red, that's red. Stop loving with a paintbrush so that I can show you the true colors. So this chart, I believe, will help many people. I try to give us biblical teaching along with practical handles so that you could apply the biblical teaching, okay? The first thing that happens is there must be exposure. You're exposed to the gospel. You're exposed to kingdom teaching. You're exposed to sound theology. Why is that important? Because once you get exposure, now you got options. Before the exposure, all you have is C, ratchet. That's it. They curse you out, see, I curse them back out too. They cut you off on 45, see, I'm going to cut them off and flip them a finger. That's all you have is C. When you get biblical teaching, you get A, self-control. You get B, a wise man can overlook an offense. You get D, I'm a living epistle representing all men. What do I look like flipping somebody off at 45? You're a greeter and you see them come to church Sunday. So now, because I've been exposed to kingdom teaching, I got options when they act a certain way. I'm not going to circle A, B, C, or D. Then, after you have those options, now you got to make a decision. You're going to be sold out or not? You're going to be for real, or for fake, or for kinda, for kinda? Which one are you going to be? But here's the thing. Once you make the decision, you're going to have withdrawals. That's when you're in the middle, a forward, and former. That's when Paul says, the good I want to do, that I don't do. But the evil I don't want to do, that I do. What a wretched man I am. Who can deliver me from this body of death? Why aren't we talking about the withdrawal phase? And since we're not talking about what it feels like when you're having withdrawals, we hide our issue and create secret warfares. And warfares always come with wardrobes. This is why you have learned how to wear a happy face and then how you know how to wear alone depression. Because when you're in warfare, it gives you many wardrobes. And here's the thing. After withdrawals, that's when you have the freedom. See, we usually expose and then just say, be free. Okay? After expose, I got to give you teaching so that you can make your own choice. Then once you make your own choice, I'm talking about now, you're going to experience discomfort here. You're going to experience persecution here. The American church cannot handle persecution. We get offended if somebody's sitting too close. We get offended if it's a little too cold outside. If somebody looks at us funny. What you going to do if you have to get your head chopped off for your faith? What you going to do if you have to get persecuted for Christ? We're upset it's a little too crowded. I can't imagine if somebody started opening the roof because they're letting somebody down in the church. We've been preaching soft Christianity, which has made comfortable sinners, where we don't feel we need to decide. We think God is cool with both sides. And so we traffic in lukewarm, but then we want fire miracles. It's okay. It's the process. Withdrawals, that's how you get freedom. Freedom. How do I know if I'm free, Pastor? It's when you don't want to do it. Everybody's not there. You can shout like you are, but everybody's not. There are certain people, just the smell of marijuana is a struggle for you. And then there are other people who you used to do it, but now when you smell it, you're like, man, I thank God delivered me from that. That's not everybody, though. That's not everybody, and that's okay. Keep allowing God to regenerate your heart. Keep allowing God to shift your focus. Withdrawals. It's the heart's way of raging once a pattern has changed. And that's okay. This is normal. This is what it feels like when toxicity is leaving the body and your heart is being purified. Now, this is the part that I've learned. Withdrawal season always requires wilderness season because God loves you. Anybody who's in a wilderness is because of withdrawals. Let me give you a Bible. Okay, Exodus chapter 13. Y'all look correct. Exodus chapter 13, verse 17. It says, then it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God did not lead them by the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. Somebody say shortcut. So that was a shortcut, but God didn't take that route. For God said, lest perhaps the people change their mind when they see war and return to Egypt. So God is like, you're free from that, but you're not ready to fight. So God led the people around by the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up in orderly ranks out of the land of Egypt. God never takes the shortcut. Anybody who's offering you a shortcut is not authored by the king. The enemy gives you shortcuts. God likes to take the scenic route. He sure does, doesn't he? Yeah. I'm going to give you a wilderness. And this blessed me, y'all. I don't want them to see you having withdrawals. You're going to detox from Pharaoh before you get next level. You're going to detox from what your ex said before I send someone else. You're going to detox from church hurt before I let you discover this. I need you to embrace the withdrawals because I'm purging your heart.